In this video, we're going to replace the stock fender on my 2016 Harley-Davidson Road Glide Ultra with this brand new Dominator fender from Advent Black. What's up everybody, my name is Andrew, this is my son Gavin.
Hello.
This is our YouTube channel, Touring Midwest. And I recently decided to start this new series. I'm calling it the Road Glide Refresh Project because we've had this bike since the end of 2015. We bought it brand new. So we've had it for about 6 years. And though I really love it and I don't have any reason to want to get rid of it, I think it's time just to do some updates, make it look a little bit different, kind of change things up a little bit. So that's kind of the theme for this season. Now I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do to it, but I do have quite a few parts here already, and we'll see what happens as the season goes along. If I can do more, I plan on it, but I think you guys will be pretty happy to see how things turn out as the season goes on. And we've got like 5 or 6 months because it's upgrade season here in Minnesota. The first thing we need to do is set this aside because it's going to be a little bit before we can get to it. We need to get the saddlebags off, we need to get the seat off, we need to go through all the wiring and everything and figure out what to do with all that mess. And we're going to walk you through the whole process. There is no instructions in the box for this. I don't know if I just didn't get them in mine or what, but I did watch a video on the Advent Black YouTube channel, so I've got kind of an idea how to go about it, and we'll just figure it out as we go. It'll be fine. You guys are in good hands, don't worry. All right, let's go. The cool thing about the Dominator fender is it's got all the lights and everything built into it, your license plate frame and things like that. So if you caught the previous video, you'll see that we removed the tour pack. Obviously we did, but I did a video on it explaining how to remove the tour pack. It's really quite easy, pretty self-explanatory, but if you want to check out that video, I'll drop a link in the description. All right, so first of all, we're going to remove the seat. I'll let Gavin do that. You just have to unscrew this bolt.
Okay.
All right, perfect. And then to get the seat out, it's got to slide back. Lift up on the back a little bit. Slide it. There you go. Perfect. Now we close the lid, latch it, and then you can just lift it up off of there. Perfect. All right, so really quick, I think one of the first questions I would have if I was watching one of these videos is how well did the color match up? So I think it's pretty good. I'll let you guys have a look. If we put the two against each other,
It's like the exact same.
yeah, I think if it's not exact, it's very close.
I like the different color lining.
Yeah. The way the light hits it will make it look a little bit different, but I think it's right. It's spot on. They did a really nice job. So this has got all the wiring and everything already hooked up and installed, so no worries there. All the wiring for the license plate frame light and all that. So we're pretty well set here. We just need to figure out how to get this apart. I'm going to start by removing the tail light just so we don't have to worry about that. We'll take that off right away. And then we'll get into some other stuff. Perfect. And then to get this wire out, you just need to push the tab down here and it slides out. Perfect. That's it.
Oh, not that one.
All right, well, if we look a little older, it's because I just spent like the last 3 hours driving all over town trying to find the tool that I wanted to use for this part. I was looking for a T-handle Torx bit set because we need a T40 Torx bit. We were going to use this at first, but there's a very small space to work with here, and I can't get the angle just right for the Torx bit, so that's not going to work. The good news is if you don't have a T-handle Torx bit kit, you might still be in luck because the little tool kit from Harley-Davidson that nobody uses, I don't think, because it's not very good, actually has the one we need. So we are going to try to make do with that, and I hopped on Amazon and ordered a torque bit set. So in the future, hopefully we'll be set. So there's going to be one in this hole here, and then there's going to be one behind here. So if you've got the bolts to hold your bag on, you're going to maybe need to remove this clip, but we'll get to that in just a second. All right, so he's working away at that. We've got the right side done already. We just need to do the left side. We need to remove the fender braces under the under brace here.
Is it still turning?
Yeah, you're all right. See, if you were alone, you'd have to hold both of these tools by yourself. So you'd hold this one here and then use this hand to do this. Okay, so this one should release this fender, I think. Yep, there we go. Put that on there so it doesn't get lost. You don't have to screw it all the way on, but just enough. Okay, the next spot that we need to worry about is actually on the fender. So we drop the fender down here. There's this big nut on here. I think I'm gonna pull the side covers off just so we don't risk damaging them. Might as well get them out of the way. So we just need to get a big socket and put on this and pull this off. Now there's gonna be one on the rear too, but I think it sounded like in the video that I watched, you could squeeze the fender together enough to get that one out. So this one, we're gonna pull out right away.
Is there one on the other side too?
Yep. Nut and a washer. Push the bolt out. Boom. You wanna get the other side?
Okay.
Here you go. Yep.
Wait, I gotta sit for this. Okay. Which way?
Yep, that's the right way. Yep. Ooh, you okay?
Ow.
Alright, we're gonna loosen this one up. I don't think we need to take this one all the way out. We just want to create a little bit of clearance so we can squeeze the fender out. Now hopefully we'll have enough room to just roll this fender down carefully. Gotta love that metal on metal sound, right?
No.
Man, this is where having a bike stand would really come in handy. He left these in the video that I watched, but he also had the bike on a lift. Will you push on the fender on the top? Just push it against the tire. Give me some leverage. There we go. What? Was that not recording that whole time? God dang it. Now with the fender nuts out, the fender should come, well, obviously it'll come right out.
Yes.
All right, a little dusty. This parts of this bike are pretty hard to clean, and you can tell which parts are hard to clean. Holy cowboys. A little grimy, that one. All right, so we've got the fender removed. I'm gonna take a few minutes, well actually probably way more than a few minutes, because I need to get these lights out of here, because this part is gonna be covered up with the new fender anyways. So I'll pop those out. If you've got them installed on yours, the filler panel lights, you're gonna have to do the same. So for the next step, we need to remove one of the brackets from the old fender to transfer it over to the new fender. So I'm gonna go ahead and let Gavin get after that. Okay, this one here. This is your bolt right here.
Okay. That is disgusting.
So we'll remove this bolt and then the clamp for the wire, or the clamp for the wire there. I'm just going to take this and wash it up a little bit as long as we've got it off. We got that cleaned up a little bit. Actually, it's kind of shiny, which is weird because nobody's ever going to see it. But anyway, I just figured since we had it off, might as well. All right, so now we got to put this on the new fender. Okay, so you'll take this screw and washer.
Yep, I got it.
And that'll go from the inside.
I don't have a screwdriver.
Just put it in there. Hold it. So now that we've got the bracket tightened down in there, we're ready to go ahead and put the fender on the bike. Now, in their video, he installed a couple of these fender nuts ahead of time, but I didn't have too much trouble getting into it on this one. So I'm going to try to install them afterwards. I think it will be easier. All right, so we're going to go ahead and install this. Now the wiring is going to get run between the fender and the frame of the bike. So we don't need to worry about that a whole lot yet. We're just going to work this in here. Try to get everything lined up a bit. We don't need to get it 100% in place yet because we need to install the fairing nuts. I'll let you hold these for me. Okay, so it is doable that way. You might want to put the rear ones on before you put the fender in place and then squeeze it in like he says to do it in his video. All right, so now we're finally to the point where we can start, I think, getting this lined up and bolted together.
Yes!
Okay, so we want to bring the wire harness up between the fender and the frame of the bike. And we'll be able to zip tie the excess if we need to.
Okay.
But we might be able to just sneak more of it up here, eh?
Yeah.
And kind of run it right between, maybe. All right. So we have to work backwards a little bit, but that don't look good. All right, now we got to finish getting this buttoned up. So before we tighten anything down, we need to get our fender bolts back in. They go in this hole here. If everything is lined up like it's supposed to be.
Yep.
Before we tighten that up, we need to get this side in, which I lost.
Oh wait, are you still missing that piece you were
Did I
like?
drop that one too, or?
I said I would get it, and you said you knew where it was.
That's a different one.
Oh.
It's not that easy to get these lined up. Like, I seriously think if I had a bike lift and the bike was up in the air, it would be easier, but like, it's just a struggle. But you'll get it, just keep working at it. That's the nice thing about this fender is it is a bit flexible since it's plastic and not metal, so it's a little more giving than the stock fender was. Okay, so that one's in. I'm locking her down. So the only one I'm struggling with. Sorry, Gav, I was gonna let you lock them down, but
It's fine.
the only one that's causing me a whole bunch of grief is right here. Oh my goodness, that was not fun.
Ow.
That last one earned us something. That last one was a struggle.
Yep.
But we got it. And now we need a break. We'll be right back. All right, well, Gavin's had enough for now because I think that frustrated him just as much as it frustrated me. It seriously was not an issue with the fender or anything. It was just getting it lined up right. And I don't know why it was such a thing, but it definitely took a little bit of time for us to do it. So we're good now. The next thing I'm going to do is just plug in the wire harness, which is right here. So that's that, and don't mind this. This is for the tour pack. So that's going to be just kind of tucked in there. Next, we're going to take our wire harness on each side and plug in the lights. This one here is going to go through this hole in the fender. And now we need to talk about the bracket. So we mounted the bracket earlier than the guy did in the video. So now I need to just loosen that bolt so that we can get the fender brace up against the bike where it's supposed to be, and it's nice and secure against the mount on the bike. This bolt here holds the bracket. There's a screw on this side right here. I put the nut on this side. So now we just need to tighten that down on both sides, make sure this is nice and tight, and then we'll tighten up this screw behind the license plate. Alright, now that that fender brace is secure, we're just going to tighten it down a little bit right back here. Seems pretty sturdy to me. The last thing we need to do, at least for the fender, is to get our license plate installed. So I need to remove it off of the tour pack rack that it was on, and then I'll get it ready to put on the bike. This is where it was originally mounted, on the base for the tour pack. And I've got it mounted with wing nuts, so it's easy. Also in Minnesota, all registration for motorcycles is due in February, so that's coming up. All right, we're going to take a Phillips screwdriver and go ahead and remove these screws. There's tiny nuts on the back end of these screws, so don't lose those, you guys. These little guys. And in Advin Black's video, they recommend taping a towel over this bottom part just in case this slips. I'm definitely not trying to be rebellious here, but I'm just hoping that I can be careful. These top ones are going to be tough because that bracket is right there. And what you want to look at is where your license plate is going to lay here. And you may have to trim the license plate to fit. I don't think I'm going to have to. I think that's going to be alright. But I am going to want to notch this out where the wires come out here. So I'm just going to use a tin snips. I'm just going to carefully do a little cut on each side of these wires. You could just mark it also, but plenty of room. Okay. So I'm going to cut down a ways, and then rather than completely cutting this out, we're going to bend it over so it's not such a sharp edge. See what I'm doing? Just folding this so it's not quite a sharp edge for the wire to be resting against. See that? So we can run the wire through the hole in the back of the fender. I'm going to get the bottom ones going first here because they're just easier to get to. All right, so at least once you got all 4 of these in place and kind of snug down, then I suppose you could kind of adjust things how you want them. Make sure it's nice and even. Find your screwdriver. Okay, once that's snugged up, we're gonna find our wiring harness and get that plugged in. And I do believe with all that, we're done with the fender install. I gotta say, I mean, it wasn't difficult, really. It was just more work than I expected it to be for some reason. A little more of a struggle than I thought it was gonna be. But, I mean, it's not horrible. I mean, it's easy to do. It's just getting everything lined up. Take your time, be patient. You'll get it, no problem. And you'll be able to enjoy how it looks and all that. So here's how the new fender looks. What do you guys think? I'll get the bags put on here so you can get kind of a better idea of what it looks like. So this is the Dominator with stock bags off of the 2016 Harley Davidson. They don't have any stretch to them. We're gonna go ahead and turn on the bike. And there we can see it lit up. Now that you got everything put back together and it's looking good and you got that new fender on, some things that they include in the package is some zip ties, because you're going to want to zip tie that new wire harness so you don't risk any chance of it getting tangled up in the belt or the wheel or whatever. Just make sure it's safe and zip tied. I'll take care of that. They also send a new seat bolt. So that's good, because when I use my tour pack, I've got this big thumb screw. But if I don't use the tour pack, then having just a small thumb screw is going to be a way better way to go. So this has dramatically changed the look of my Harley Davidson Road Glide Ultra already. I think just adding this different fender really made a huge difference. But in the next video, we're going to do something about these bags. We're going to put some stretch bags on here, and I'll walk you through that whole process and show you what they look like. So just follow me on this one, you guys. Just stick with the series and see what else we end up doing to this Road Glide. It's gonna be pretty cool. The Road Glide refresh project is officially begun. Stay safe out there as always, you guys. We will catch you in the next video from Touring Midwest.